Anita here, and this is day 25 of the 30-day sketchbook challenge. Now the theme for today has been inspired by one of you guys, by Katrina Gabriela, who asked me in the comments under one of the previous videos about my original characters. Now she wanted to draw one of them, but the ones that are most recognized, I think, for those of you who are with me a bit longer, are the fox and the hamster, who are, traveling together. But I actually have quite a lot of more characters from the stories that I'm developing, and hopefully it comes to fruition sometime in the future. Fast, hopefully. So I have some of those characters, and I never really talked about them, and I really felt like drawing them all of a sudden. I feel like I've neglected them for the past few months, just trying to grow the YouTube channel and start my more serious work as an illustrator. So there was perfect topic for today's picture, and so I'm drawing quite tiny picture, not that big, and it's one of my characters. You also probably recognize her from previous videos because it's this red-headed girl. I do not have any names for my characters. I always call them by code names, like what they actually are, like fox, hamster, and this is an apprentice. And this girl is this huge book lover. And by that, I don't mean that she loves reading books. She just loves books, like the item, like the physical book. She just loves the way they feel. She loves the way they smell. They're just something magical for her. And she's actually illiterate as well. She can't read. A lot of my stories are in a fantasy world, so and kind of like a fantasy medieval, I would even say. So quite a long time ago compared to our present times. And so when I think about the typical peasants, that's when I think of her. She comes from the family of peasants and farmers. Not even farmers, like the very, very lowest of the lowest. People who just live from day to day, and they worry about what to put on the table and not about frivolous things like books. And so for her, she absolutely loves them and adores them. And one day, she runs an errand to this wizard's tower. It's a tower where the wizard lives. And she sees this whole shelf, just a bookshelf filled with books, and she flips completely. She's just absolutely in love with them. And in that moment, she decides that she's gonna work for the wizard. And but she can't really do anything because she's just a child. She's in the very, very early teens, like maybe 12, 13. And she can't do much. She can do a bit of cleaning, cooking, that kind of stuff. But she really wants to be his apprentice. And so she decides on her own, the wizard doesn't even have anything to say, and she's gonna become his apprentice and just live with him, and there is just that's her story. Of course, it's not as easy as that. I'm still developing this story, so it's kind of interesting. I really like this character. I feel like it's a little bit similar to me in some ways, just in some. But this character is the most me probably from all of them, and that's why, and especially the fact that she has red hair. I absolutely love her. You guys know it as well. If you're with me for longer, I adore red hair. Long red hair is just something that I can't have, I will never have, but I absolutely love. So when I drew this character for the very first time, and that was in the very first moments when I've decided to pick up the painting again and become an illustrator 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago actually. Actually, now that I think about it, it was 4 years ago. Now it was around May, end of May. So 4 years ago, that's crazy. And she was one of my first characters. I still have her in the very first pictures, unnamed then, and without a story, just her. And she kind of developed from there along the other characters. And so what I've done here is this little scene when she's sleeping alongside her companion cat, which is another character, which I'm not going to talk about today because he kind of looks more like a fox/raccoon to me. Like the face did not go as fluffy as I would like him to be, but that's beside the point, it's just a sketch. But I generally like this this pose. What they're doing is like they are taking a nap on the floor maybe, or just bed, just anywhere, whatever. And they're surrounded by some pillows and a blanket, and I just kind of, I don't know, I really like the idea that looking at them from above. I haven't done that in this sketchbook yet, so I really like that. And one part of the whole story with them is that, I don't know, I always use very rich colors when I draw the pictures. I think all of them except one have those extremely rich colors, and so I've also chose really rich colors for the pillows, for the blanket. And when I was putting in those shiny bits, which are coming out of a cat's tail, I already knew that I wanted a dark background again. But this time I've decided to make it a tiny bit smaller. Now this picture is half of the page, it doesn't take the whole page, so I was a little bit more conservative, I think, in this case, and I've decided to use a few colors. And I have this really juicy original Copic marker without a brush tip, just with a regular fineliner-ish tip. And it's so juicy, it's so fresh, that I thought it would be perfect for a dark background. And so the whole idea is that the black background is surrounding them. It's a dark room, and kind of like the closer it comes to them, the more the colors change. So, of course, I didn't blend too much. I've decided I didn't want to work too much on this picture. Is that even a word? I don't know why I use it. But I didn't want to blend too much, and so I'm just adding like a lot of lines, like I would do in a sketch. So it was kind of an interesting way of doing it. In the end, I'm covering a lot of areas again with the same color, so technically I'm blending, but not as much as, for example, I've done in the Galaxy painting 2 days ago. So that was something different. And I'm actually spending a lot of time adding the same color to do some shading, build up a little bit of depth. That was I wanted this character to really pop. And the last thing I'm doing with the shiny bits are almost done, but what I'm actually doing is I'm using the new Graphik, the Derwent Graphik line painters. The white one, as I've told you a few days ago, is very milky. So it kind of blends perfectly because it still shows just a tiny little bit of colors from underneath. And I used that and the Molotov acrylic pen on top to just kind of really build up the shine. It came out beautifully, exactly the way I wanted. And I'm adding a little bit of patterns on top of the pillows and the blankie with some of the new colored pencils that I've received from Miss N as well. They're absolutely perfect for drawing on top of dark colors because of how soft and covering they are. That's unfortunately the beauty of Prismacolors. Even though I don't like Prismacolors, I'm a big Derwent lover, I think. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this painting. And actually, it wasn't that long to make, so I was surprised because there's a lot of detail in it. Thank you so very much for watching, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye!